Warning, Unapologetics contains profanity. If you are easily offended by the atheist worldview, then you might not want to listen to this episode. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy the episode. Hello and welcome to Unapologetics, the unapologetic progressive skeptic's response to the fucking internet. I'm Brantley, and here with me is Nikki.
Hey, Brantley.
Hey.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a little bit since just the two of us anyway.
I know, doing our regular format, and we apologize for that, but we've been hustling. On other shows.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't realize how much work fucking networking is.
Exactly.
It is like work. Like it's doing a show,
Yeah.
I mean, it's still fun. Like it's fun
It's
work.
so much fun.
work.
And it's so awesome meeting new people.
Yeah.
And being able to talk to new people about, the shit that we're interested in. It's just, it's amazing.
Yeah. It really is. And such cool people that we've had. So we've been on, Left at the Valley.
Yes, we were just on Left at the Valley
and
last
then,
weekend.
Then we also
we had Felicia Entwistle on our show.
Yeah, that was
but that felt pretty that was a very different format.
Similar.
So we were testing that out, and I think it went well. We had such a wonderfully deep conversation.
Right, and I didn't even realize the time. It was a lot longer than I expected,
which is par for the course for us.
Right? Yeah, we
did Sarah Talk, and
that was 2 hours.
Oh
or
my
something.
god!
Holy shit!
I don't even know how long it was supposed to be, but yeah, that started at 8:00 at night on a Saturday, and we weren't done until it was 10:30.
Yeah,
we
was really
our
late.
entire evening with Sarah and Becca, and it was lovely.
It was awesome. Definitely check that out. I think it's up on the Facebook group.
It's on YouTube too. As well.
Yeah. You can just look up Sarah Talk, and it comes there. It's the first one.
Yeah, her show is excellent.
Yeah, it is really good.
It's been a while, and we've missed a lot. So elections happened. Thanksgiving is over.
Yeah, thank God.
Thank God. Can I just say that Thanksgiving is the most useless holiday.
I hate it.
In existence.
Hate fucking Thanksgiving.
It is so bad.
Yeah.
I fucking hate Thanksgiving to the point where I remember now that part of what I used to love about living in another state was that I was never expected to be home when Thanksgiving happened, and I really love that. I love the fact that I was never ever expected to be home, and I could just not do anything for Thanksgiving or do Thanksgiving with my friends. What I will say is my favorite Thanksgiving memory is I lived in DC for a while, and my first year in DC, I happened to two friends from college lived in the same area. One of my friends lived in Maryland, and another of my friends lived right in Pennsylvania, so she could come and go really easily.
Oh wow! So everybody came to the same spot.
Exactly.
Wow.
So my friend had this great apartment in Maryland, right in Rock Creek Park in Maryland area. And we just went to his house, and we slept there on the night before, and we woke up and just started cooking and drinking all day. We finally finished the meal, cooking, drinking, laughing. It was so much fun. We finally finished the meal. Of course, we all took a nap. And I remember waking up before everyone else, and one of my friends, she had a dog, gorgeous German Shepherd. And I was like, hey, can I take your dog for a walk? And she was like, yeah. And I just remember going out, and it's fucking Maryland in November. So it's a nice, crisp 45, 50 degrees out.
Oh, right.
And the leaves were falling everywhere. And the houses are it looked exactly what you would picture for a fall neighborhood.
Oh, right.
And me and that dog must have walked about 5 fucking miles that day, because we had been having such a good time. And I came back, and she was like, was everything okay? I was like,
you get lost?
Girl, we were just having a good damn time. So that's my favorite Thanksgiving memory, because it was 100% where I wanted to be, doing the things I wanted to be doing.
Yeah.
Whereas the vast majority of Thanksgivings that you spend with your family is like the exact opposite.
Yeah,
of that.
it's having to do something you don't want to have to do.
In places like with people you don't want to be with.
Right, yeah, exactly. Like you have to spend at least like an hour or whatever, like a place that you don't want to be with people you don't want to be with.
Yeah. Or at least you're like, you're dealing with the reality like, oh, fuck, I gotta be right back with these people less than 30 days.
Right. Like, why do we do all this shit right at the very end? Like, I'm here, like, can't we spread it out a little bit? Jesus.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that I'm, like, not a huge fan of harvest foods.
Right.
Like, I'm not a huge fan of turkey and cranberry sauce and all. Like, that's just not.
Well, we did this time with your family, we did a seafood.
Yes.
Which was really cool. It was very good.
My family is, like, super Floridian, which means we're country, but we got a little bit of that island in us, too.
Right.
Exactly. So, what we usually do is one of the holidays, either Christmas or Thanksgiving, we choose one. We have it be a seafood instead of harvest foods, and then so like Christmas we'll have, we probably won't have turkey because we just people don't do turkey like that.
Oh no.
We'll have a ham and probably baked chicken, but then we'll have the mac and cheese and the collard greens and the cornbread and still sweet potato pie again and all that stuff. But we do a crab usually, and a seafood Thanksgiving. So my family makes this like seafood spaghetti. It's so good with like crabs and shrimp in it.
Awesome. Yeah.
It was your first time ever having it.
I didn't eat the crab. I didn't do that because we had to like take, and you guys did have the trays and everything, but you had to like sit down and do it on your lap and stuff. I'm just like, I can't fucking.
I'm not into it. I can't handle it. There were tables available to you.
I know, but I'm bad at doing crab anyway, and then,
And my aunt is like, well, not just my aunt, my whole family has an ethos of just like, you do not fuck over crab. If you get crabs out this damn pot, you are going to eat every speck of meat on these motherfucking crabs.
So I can't do my chicken wing thing.
No, bitch, you leave way too much chicken on chicken wings. I'm like, what are you doing? You haven't even finished the chicken wing. What is wrong with you?
It's like 2 bites and, okay, I'm done with that. Give me another one.
Like, it's so clear you grew up in like a well-to-do middle-class family, and I did not. Because you don't leave meat.
I ate the crunchy parts, damn it. I know, but it's not crunchy.
No, it's not okay. At least, and I gotta be honest, being with my family is not like the worst thing in the world.
No, it's actually a lot of fun.
My family is real chill, but it's just so much work. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? Because it's like, there is this level of yourself that you can't be.
Right.
When you're around your family.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I know that.
Definitely when we're around your family.
Oh, yeah.
Because, your family is waspy as fuck.
Yeah. Oh,
like, they are just very...
Waspy.
White Anglo-Saxon Protestants.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they are. They are. I didn't know what that was.
Wow.
Waspy. I've never heard of that.
Yes, your family's very waspy. So it's like... you go to my family, we're talking about everything. We're, talking about Trump, and we're, we're talking about politics big time.
Yeah.
And just, talking about all the latest, gossip and, this rapper this, Beyonce that, all that stuff.
Right. Normal shit to talk about.
Run the gamut.
With humans.
And then we go to your family's house, and it's like, the weather's been so nice lately.
Oh, God. I never thought we could talk about the weather for an hour and a half.
It's like weather, Marvel movies.
Yeah, Marvel's safe.
Or any comic book movies, really.
Any movies.
Yeah, you're right.
Really, I mean, they're
non-controversial movies.
Right. Yeah, don't talk about anything.
You got to stick to basically the superhero movies.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah,
as long as it's not
what else? What else are we allowed to talk about? Ailments. Any of your ailments.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They love to talk about
it. Basically a meeting of WebMD. So weird.
Yeah.
But I guess your grandmother is 92.
Yeah, she's fucking old, and so she's got a lot of that to talk about. But,
it was Thanksgiving, but I love that Christmas decorations basically went up the day after Halloween.
Yeah, they canceled it.
Fuck waiting until Black Friday.
Right.
We're not doing that shit anymore.
Fuck Thanksgiving, period. We're just going to skip straight to Christmas.
Going straight through.
I'm fine with, because you know what? Fuck Thanksgiving.
I'm 100% on board. Fuck Thanksgiving.
It's a horrible holiday. It's just we came and slaughtered a bunch of people, and then we're just be thankful, goddammit.
Yeah, it was...
Be thankful we didn't murder all of you.
It was a very bad time in our history. And it also, it's like, I hate the fact that we're basically celebrating white supremacy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Or at least colonialism.
It's like, thank you, Native Americans, for like not completely slaughtering us and allowing us the power and the time to basically genocide you.
Yeah.
And enslave a bunch of other types of people.
Right. Yeah. Everything that's, horrible.
Thanks for giving us a fighting chance.
Right. Jesus Christ.
Nah, man. Nah, Bress. Like, I fucking hate Thanksgiving.
And it's interesting, too, because, like, a lot of people, like, I remember the Diatribe, because they do, Scathing Atheist comes out on Thursday, so he did a Diatribe about Thanksgiving pretty much every year. And what he was talking about was how it's, like, mostly a secular holiday, and I was just like, and rightfully so, he said that people called him out on that, And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, fucking no, it's not, man. Like, it was a whole Christian thing with my family. Like,
yes,
the
being
big
thankful
long
is
prayer
a
before
huge thing.
Yeah, being thankful for Jesus' sacrifice and all this bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a fucking. But the problem is though, it's not the fact that the holiday is religious. That religious people go in and fucking take over everything.
Yeah, they do.
You know what I mean? Like, they have to put their stamp on everything, and they have to fucking fuck everything up. Like,
wow,
they really do.
Those are strong words.
They do.
But yeah, there is a very Christian thing about being thankful that you even like woke up in the morning and stuff like that.
Right.
Which is like fair. I'm all about like, the huge like self-help thing now is gratitude. Like you can go buy like an actual gratitude journal where you like write, it prompts you to write your fucking gratitudes every day.
And that's fine. That's okay. That's good.
But
I'm all about being thankful.
Yes,
I'll being content.
To be fair, though, it's thankful in a way that makes you non-critical of the world.
Right. Which is
the
problem.
Don't be angry at your employer for not giving you overtime and giving you the work of 2 to 3 employees. Just be thankful you have a job. Kind of.
Yeah.
That's
just
the kind
be
of
happy with
religious,
the least amount.
especially like the evangelical Christian.
Yeah.
Like that's the undertone for all of that. Like read any fucking Joel Osteen book and that's basically like Reverend T.D. Jakes, all of those big time mega church pastors. It's all about that. Like even Joyce Meyer, is in that game now, which is so mind boggling because I remember being afraid of that lady when she first came out because she was so fire and brimstone.
Right? Yeah.
And she realized, oh wait, I need to pivot to the Christian self help because
can make more money that
so
way.
much more money. So yeah, there is that sort of like weird shit about it. And then what I also hate about Thanksgiving, and then we really have to move on because God only,
I know we
like,
could talk
who
for
knew
an hour
we had
about
this many feelings about Thanksgiving. But the other thing I hate about Thanksgiving is it brings out those trolls who say shit like, why do I need to be thankful? Why do I need a day to be thankful? I'm thankful every day. Well, bitch, who asked you to participate?
Right? Yeah, exactly. We don't need... Okay, good for fucking you, man. Like,
shut the fuck up, there.
Yeah, God.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Pat on the back.
Yeah.
Do you want a cookie?
Right.
What the fuck? Look, I hate those fucking people.
Want some
and
dinner
they always come out. They're always around Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
So being able to just, just jump over those people entirely would be great.
It's a way to virtue signal.
Of course.
I mean, like, it's just the way, like, I'm amazing and here's why kind of thing.
Oh, fuck you. But I really, really love secular Christmas. Also,
yeah, I gotta admit,
low-key am in love with secular Christmas.
I love Christmas, and I mean, besides all the Jesus bullshit that they shoehorned in,
That's why I said secular Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me a Santa Claus, even preferably a black Santa Claus.
I love it. As far away from the German culture that it came from.
Like, I love a black Santa Claus. Like, give me that. Give me my reindeer.
Santa Claus, at least we know existed. For sure.
Yes, it's true. I mean, not in any way related to the way that we celebrate him secularly.
But
yeah.
But that would be great. Look, imagine if you went down in history like that. Like, you end up being a superhero like forever, and a whole bunch of movies make a costume that Coca-Cola designs, and I don't know. It'd be really neat.
It's the height of consumption. You definitely want it. But yeah, I love Christmas lights. Like, here in St. Pete, in downtown St. Pete, they set up like a whole... like Christmas village. It's adorable.
Yeah, it's
and
really,
like
really
neighboring
cool.
Largo, they have their like main park. They do an entire light show for the whole park.
It's wild too. It's like a whole park of just like trees with lights on it and like all these I don't know what you want to call it, like wooden frames and stuff they put up all the lights. It's really neat. It's really beautiful. Like, yeah,
it's gorgeous.
We'll have to post some pictures to it. To the Facebook group so you guys can see it.
It's so much fun. We do it every year. Yeah, it's just we love secular Christmas.
Yeah, even being down here. I mean, I guess because, okay, first of all, because we're down in Florida and it's like the first time that it's actually fucking tolerable to like go outside and do things.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because it's not like 95-degree weather.
Yeah.
Feels like 105. Whatever, you know?
Yes.
It's the worst.
It's terrible. But it's just been, I don't know, it's been nice seeing just seeing the Christmas trees and the this and that. It's just, I don't know. Yeah. It's just such a nice time of year. Because I feel like everybody kind of relaxes. Definitely, and is trying to just be, I feel like people become more present.
Oh, yeah.
At this time. Where they just are trying to slow down and savor the moments a little bit more. And that's, considering all the fucking craziness around us and the wild shit that's happening all the time. I mean, that's something to really
it's something
savor.
We need to do, honestly. I mean, I feel like other countries, like in the Netherlands and things, like they understand, like having to cool down time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like they understand, what's it called? A better life.
The balance?
A happier life. You know,
yeah, what's necessary. Yeah.
Quality of life.
There's a reason why, like, all the Scandinavian stuff is, like, blowing up right now. Like, I think it's in Denmark, it's Hygge, and in Sweden, it's Luke. It's this idea of making a very warm, inviting environment that keeps you present.
Right.
And like all of Scandinavian design is like about that. I love Scandinavian design. I'm like a huge Scandinavian design fucking nerd. And it's like everything. Yeah. And like if I'm feeling stressed out, I can just look at pictures of like especially tiny houses that have been like designed for Scandinavian like places, and I'm just like, yeah, this is life. This is amazing. I can calm down now.
There's tiny houses, but they're still so roomy. Like,
I know.
Like find space in the weirdest
and they're
places.
Perfectly created to make you feel cozy at all times.
Yeah, exactly.
Like all you want to do is get a cup of hot tea and a flannel and some like fuzzy socks.
Yeah, and Stephen King. And just
oh my god,
like, this girl.
Oh my god, yes, that's like life right there.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. They celebrate the whole being and what like the whole being needs.
Right.
And that's just something that we in America don't do. Like in America, it's like, is your rent paid or your mortgage paid or your lights on? Do you have like car and food? You're all set.
Yeah,
you're good to go. You're done.
Done.
But yeah, secular Christmas is my jam.
Yeah, I do enjoy it, and it's funny too because like we're just talking about like I was on Twitter. I actually went back into Twitter lately, which I didn't think I would do, but because everybody's so fucking mean, man. Like, but anyway, but there was people like on there talking about Christmas and stuff and the Christmas story and the true meaning of Christmas, and I like had to point out, because it was this kid. He's a young kid. Like it was just obvious he's young, and I started to point out, it's just like, look, you realize that story has so many fallacies in it. Like the Christmas story alone, like has so many fallacies. Like for instance, because they were having to shoehorn in all of these prophecies.
Wait, are we talking about like the story of like Jesus' birth here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I thought you meant like Kris Kringle or something.
No.
Okay, we're getting out of secular Christmas now.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay, we're in Jesus
one.
Christmas.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, my bad. Not the secular side, but and so I was just talking about there's so many fallacies with that story, and I pointed out like a bunch, because I was, and I want to just go over them real quick because it was like the one, and I'll just mention the one is the census. That's the biggest one. I feel like is one of the biggest problems because first of all, like we talked about that right, like on the night before. But
why are we talking about that? What does that have to do with the story
Christmas?
Of Jesus?
Because it's in the Jesus story. That's where.
Okay.
That's why. Like that was part of it that he had to be.
I'm like, what is? See now.
He had to be in Judea.
I can't stand the Bible. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, so they had to come up with a way for him to be from Judea. I think it was Judea. But anyway, so and they did this census, right? But they said that King Herod was the king during Jesus' birth, right? Because he went and set up that decree to kill all the babies, remember? And then the wise men came and like warned Joseph and Mary and all that. Anyway, but then it was when I looked up the census because someone like said no, that's wrong, and so I went and looked it up, because I was like maybe I am wrong, let me just look this up. And so I looked at them, and no, it's a fucking mistake. It's a mistake right there in the Bible because it wasn't. King Herod was dead for 10 years when that census came out. And yet they said that's in the fucking birth story. Like, does it take Jesus 10 years to be born? You know what I mean? Because it's like way after Herod, but yet Herod was part of the. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
are you satisfied that you got that out?
Yeah, I am.
Because I'm like,
we don't usually do a lot of apologetic shit on here. So
no, it's not that. It's just that it's like it's like, duh, it's not correct.
Well, I know, but I thought it was for so long, man. I thought it was all true. I didn't think there was one goddamn contradiction in that fucking book. And I read it a lot. And that's so sad, man.
You're always, like, so excited when you find out that shit is wrong.
Yeah,
and, like, you can find facts that prove it's wrong.
Right, yeah.
And I'm just like, bitch, that shit was never real.
I know, but I didn't know that for my entire life. Jesus. I thought that shit was fun. And and that was one of the things that kind of, like, tore down my faith, like, pretty quickly, because I thought, in my mind, if you find one fallacy in the Bible, that's enough. That's enough to show that it's not true.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's the perfect fucking word of God. It says in the Bible it'll never change. If the actual God wrote that in the Bible, then it would never change and it would never be altered, right?
Yeah.
But it did, and it was, and it's just a fallible, fucked up story, you know what I mean? Like, it's just all, I don't know, but...
I mean, even if it is real, it is fucking disturbing that we would be celebrating the teenage pregnancy... and, like, birth
the rape
of the Messiah. Yeah.
The God rape of Mary.
Actually, that reminds me, like, there was that great tweet that I think you pointed out on the Friendly Atheist about, you know, so this professor, so Minnesota State University. Oh, no. Have I lost it?
Anyway.
Did I lose it? I think I lost it, bro.
Uh-oh. Shit. Whoops.
Yeah, I think I lost it.
That's all right.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, it's on the big one.
Wrong computer.
My bad.
Jesus.
Okay.
So, Eric Sprengel, he's a psychology professor. He said on Twitter, the virgin birth story is about an all-knowing, all-powerful deity impregnating a human teen. There is no definition of consent that would include that scenario. Happy holidays. I love that little happy holidays at the end.
Yeah.
Because that really means fuck you.
Yeah. It's like,
or even better,
like
go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Sounds like happy holidays, but really means still go fuck off.
Exactly. And of course, like, the first response is some asshole who thinks he knows the Bible.
He's got a dove and a cross as his picture.
So that tells you how serious he is. But he's just, like, so sure that he knows the Bible better than anyone else. Okay. So he goes, sorry, Luke 1:26-38 states clearly that the angel communicated God's plan for Mary. And in verse 38, she agreed. Whether you believe or disbelieve, it helps if you actually read the text. So he thinks he's just dropped the bomb.
Yeah.
And then here comes right back with this professor with receipts and says... The biblical God regularly punished disobedience. The power difference, deity versus mortal, and the potential for violence for saying no negates her yes. To put someone in this position is an unethical abuse of power at best and grossly predatory at worst.
Yeah.
I was like,
so good.
Damn, my nigga understand consent. Like... 100, he understands consent, and I was just blown away. I'm like, this is what it is, y'all.
Yeah.
This is exactly what consent means.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was so powerful.
Yeah, that says a lot right there, honestly. For a lot of different reasons. But it's like almost like he was ready for that, I feel like.
Yeah, he was like, I got a bunch in the chamber here. He had a whole, like, he was ready. So, like, for you, did it ever feel weird growing up, like, celebrating... Like, did you even consider... Because I know in, like, the Catholic faith, they consider Mary a lot. But, like,
yeah. We weren't as much about Mary. Like, that's one of our... I still say, like, us and we... But that's one of their biggest, like, issues, the evangelicals, is, like, their adoration of Mary. Because they're like, oh, she was just a human. I mean, she was obviously a good human for having Jesus, but she was still just a human. You shouldn't worship her and all that shit. Right. But, the virgin birth, though, is still a major part of evangelical faith. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Definitely. You know, and, yeah, but, yeah, so it is still very influential. It's like, you know, but she's not a deity. You know what I mean? She's not like the fourth to the Trinity or anything, you know?
So she was basically just a womb.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, she was just
wow, but that's so evangelical to completely strip her of all her power.
Of course, yeah, definitely. You know,
because she can't have any power.
No,
because that would fuck up everything else about the teaching.
Yeah, and I know the one thing they used to say, and my pastor used to say a lot of times, was they were mad that they would say "Hail Mary, Mother of God," because they would be like, "Oh, it's not the Mother of God; it's the Mother of Jesus." who's God. Anyway, whatever. Fuck, it doesn't matter. So stupid. It's like, Mother of God, they're kind of saying the same shit, you idiots. Like, what the fuck? But, they get all worked up about, like, stupid shit like that. But, it's just, I don't know, it's just funny.
Yeah, religious Christmas is a real dull and depressing affair.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so sad. It's really sad.
It is. It's pathetic. And then, like, the fact that, like, the gifts were because of the wise men with the gifts and, stuff like that. Like, they take everything has a reason like that. The, oh, damn, there was something about the Christmas tree, too. Now, of course, I can't remember it. But, because I think the Christmas tree goes back to Egyptian.
Wow. See, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah,
I just know that I don't understand why Christians make everything sad.
Yeah, that makes it really fucking shitty.
Like, whenever there's like a time to celebrate, and they still find a way to make it dour.
Yeah, seriously, yeah.
It's like their gift.
And then the king murdered all the babies that weren't Jesus, okay, kids?
So you shouldn't feel happy or ask for toys because, man.
We're telling the cute story about Jesus.
And it's like, I guess that's one way to live life. I don't know.
Right?
Who am I to tell you? I don't know.
And that's another thing that didn't historically happen. King Herod never set a decree to murder a bunch of babies because he thought one of them was going to be the king of the Jews. So that's not true. That never happened.
Surprise. Headlines?
Headlines. Unapologetics. Headlines. So, President H.W. Bush has now passed away.
He has.
Yeah. That was big news this month.
It was. Yeah. And it started the same cycle of bullshit where people, mostly white people, want to really, like, eulogize the fuck out of this man and have, like, this respectful mourn-a-thon for days and days and days.
Yeah, I don't get it, man.
And people, progressives are, like, trying to point out this nigga was terrible.
Yeah.
And
he wasn't Kurt Cobain. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but then there's like all these it wasn't Kurt Cobain. Then there's like all these think pieces about how people should feel after presidents die, and I'm just sick to death of it.
Yeah,
I'm just sick to death of it. I'm just like, I don't want. You don't have to be overly positive. You just don't.
Yeah.
That's just weird.
I feel like I just feel like it's disingenuous anyway. Like,
it's so disingenuous.
Either the person was a good person or a bad person. Just because they're fucking dead now doesn't change that fact.
Yeah, or maybe it isn't even he was a good person, he was a bad person. It's just he was a person, he was a president. Here's some of the good stuff he did. Here's some of the very bad stuff that he did. Mm-hmm. Because of the very bad stuff, here's what we're still struggling with today.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Right.
Like, I don't understand when presidents became deserving of this unobjectively positive coverage.
It's like confirmation bias, where like you only take the good, like the good things they did, and just try to like forget everything bad that they did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no, we can remember it all. It's okay. Like, they were a deep, like, a human with nuance. They're human, man. They're not. No human's like totally perfect. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know. But he wasn't. Oh, fucking far shy away from him.
Yeah. And the thing that's clear, and I felt the same way when Senator John McCain died, is that at the end of the day, if a majority of white Americans want to, overly graciously eulogize these men, it doesn't matter a lick what any marginalized community has to say about it.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, they could do terrible, horrible things to our communities.
To those communities, yeah.
And it still won't matter if the majority of white people are like, oh, well, we like them, so... Like,
we got tax cuts, so...
Yeah, it's like, we never matter. We're our slights and the harm that was caused upon us is never a trump card.
Right.
ever. It's always kind of that just annoying yappy dog in the back
right.
that everyone sees and hears but just ignores, because if you give it any attention, it's going to get yappier.
Right.
Which is exactly what I feel like the vast majority of white people feel when they hear anything related to race.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So I'm like, I don't understand that. I don't understand how someone can do so terrible of things. Like for example, you know, he didn't start the campaign of like using race to sort of win over white Americans, but he definitely made it worse with the Willie Horton ad and with all the bullshit that he did as far as like civil rights and stuff. God, he was just so bad.
Yeah.
And
he had that archaic mindset of just like everything's got to be like this.
Yeah,
you know, like,
exactly. And
if
that's
you're outside of that, then you are wrong. Like, you're wrong.
Basically.
You know?
And I mean, he wasn't like as staunch of a non-compromiser as say like a Trump was. He was a little bit better, slightly better.
Yeah, I'm actually missing him at this point, you know, with Trump.
But it's like, but at the same time, don't oversell what he did and don't undersell how he was a catalyst to exactly where we are today.
Yeah, this wouldn't happen without him.
Yeah, maybe he wasn't explicitly out there using race to win races, but he certainly wasn't saying very much to his Republican counterparts who were. Right. He wasn't openly condemning anything. No. You know, he wasn't atoning for shit. No. And he certainly wasn't being a leader and making sure his party didn't become the white supremacist party that it is today. Right. And I mean, let's be real. He was a healthy, functioning, you know, ex-president for years and years and years. And still, he did absolutely nothing to stop the ridiculous warpath that the Republican Party was on to become the pile of shit it is today.
Yeah.
Like, he did nothing. No. He sat back and made gazillions and gazillions and gazillions. Yeah. And last point, too, that pisses me off. I'm so sick of every time they die, McCain, him, they always want to point out how much, you know, these were public servants. They sacrificed and became public servants and public service this and public service that. And I'm just like, okay, first of all, these fucking men, like, these fucking men were millionaires before they even became public servants.
Yeah,
like, so it's not a sacrifice when you didn't sacrifice shit.
No.
Like, give me a fucking break. That's the first thing, okay? And then, two, the other thing that's, like, super important is, I don't give a fuck about you being in public service if your entire time you were there, you were doing things to hurt people.
Right, yeah, to hurt society.
Fuck that.
Especially marginalized groups of society. Like, you're just a fucking bull.
Exactly. Like, I hate this idea of public service being this neutral good. Right. Like, nah, bitch. Like, no. Trump is the president right now and using his office and using this position to enrich himself and enrich his family. Yeah. It is illegal. It is treasonous. Yeah. Like, that is not to be lauded as like, well, you know, he stopped being a private, you know, entity for a while for the greatness of our country for a while. Yeah. Like, no, you don't get a pat on the back for wanting to come and loot us.
No, yeah, exactly.
So I just that shit like pisses me off. Like, there is no neutral good in being in public service. And I would argue that we would have been better off had George H.W. Bush decided not to be in public service at all.
Oh, yeah.
Because definitely. If not, we wouldn't have had George W. Bush. And that would have really helped.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe we could have gotten like an actual progressive Democrat to win instead of fucking Clinton, who like did terrible shit too.
Yeah,
like maybe this all would have been different. Maybe there would have been no Iraq War. There would be no Afghanistan.
There wouldn't have been.
There would have never been a Newt Gingrich. There would have never been this crazy shift to the right that y'all cannot sustain.
Right.
And the media never wants to have that kind of discussion. They never want to dig deep. They always want to stay right on the fucking surface.
Yeah.
It's like they just never want to dig a little bit deeper.
Right.
And there's so many beautiful and interesting layers that we can go into and we can talk about and really progress this fucking nation.
Right.
Let's move this shit forward.
Exactly. Instead of being a fucking anchor on society, just like keeping us back from doing, you know.
We're just standing still. We're just standing still.
We got the progressives like putting through our shit to move forward, and then you got them vetoing everything we put through.
Everything.
You know, and it's stuff that's like really cruel, like at times. I'm just like, how the fuck? I mean, the LGBTQ is not even a protected, you know, like with gender and stuff like that. They don't consider transgender gender.
Yeah.
In the, you know, the, what's it called? The Civil Rights Act. Yeah, they don't even consider them protected under gender, which is fucking insane.
Yeah.
How the fuck is that not protected?
I know.
In 2018.
In 2018.
What the fuck is going on?
And there's so many big problems we have ahead. I mean, the fucking climate change is going to just be the most important thing that we as a fucking world, as the earth, has to get right. And we're wasting our fucking time. We're wasting time. Yeah. And so President Bush is dead. He hurt a lot of people, and he was instrumental in the ridiculousness that is the Republican Party, and as an extension, our country right now.
Yeah.
So I don't feel any type of way. Just like, I was just like, huh, okay then, that's what happened. Right. And so he's led into the current Republican Party that's literally doing anti-democratic things now.
Yeah. I mean, it's the deregulation idea, you know, like, can we get rid of, you guys got too many rules, and it's like, I wonder why you don't like rules. That's really interesting. Maybe it makes it easier to undermine the whole fucking system.
Yep.
You know?
So in Wisconsin, the Republicans who are about to lose control of the legislature, the governor's mansion, because a Democrat was elected, they just passed a package of bills, a bill that would cut down on the number of early voting days, because remember, the easier you're voting, the more likely you get people to vote, which means more Democrats are likely to vote, and we can't have that. No. They give the legislature more power over boards of certain commissions. Let's see. They limit the new incoming Democratic governor's abilities to change the state's work requirements around food stamps. So if he wanted to waiver the state on having work requirements with food stamps, they would block him from being able to do that. And then they want to stop the incoming attorney general, who is a Democrat, from withdrawing the state from a lawsuit against the Affordable Care Act. Like, they are all there's a bunch of conservative attorney generals that were in a lawsuit against the Affordable Care Act. So just complete bullshit. They passed that shit, and just a complete power grab, like, the people have spoken. They want y'all out. Yeah. Like, and they were like, oh, okay, you want us out? Well, we're just going to steal a bunch of shit first.
Right.
It's such bullshit. In Michigan, they now have 3 Democratic chambers of government, and they're trying to pass a bill right now that basically wants to shift power away from, like, the Secretary of State office, that's a Democrat, to a commission that would be bipartisan, which normally I would be in support of, because that's like actually a good thing. But of course they want that now. And who knows, the second that they get in power again, they're like, you know what, this bipartisan thing, I don't think it works. Let's switch it back to being, the party that wins.
Right. Yeah. Just, God, that's pathetic.
Kaka kiki. So it's bullshit. And then in our very own state in Florida, now our all-Republican legislature wants to interpret Amendment 4.
Yeah,
because they think it's overly broad to allow felons, except murderers and sex offenders, to vote. Like, to reinstate their voting rights. Like, they think that's somehow confusing.
Yeah.
They're confused.
Like, how can you not understand? If you haven't fucking murdered anyone, if you're not a sex offender, you get to vote.
That's it.
I don't care. Like, what the fuck is done?
That's just it. So, who knows how the fuck they're going to reinterpret.
Watch, they'll be like, okay, but drug crimes too. But no white-collar crimes. Just drugs. Okay? Because we don't get caught for that.
Who knows?
They do plenty of drugs, but they just don't get caught for it.
This is truth.
Yeah.
But who knows how they're going to reinterpret that. So I just feel like it's like, see, that's the kind of stories I want to be reading.
Yeah.
How George Bush has led to bullshit like this.
Right. Yeah.
Where we have whole ass states getting together first of all, you have all these fucking activists coming together and getting all these fucking people to sign saying they want this shit on the ballot.
Right, yeah.
Getting it on the ballot. Then a whole bunch of people coming out and voting for it.
Yeah.
And then it passes. And then having these motherfuckers come in and say, oh, but you don't really know how you feel.
Yeah, we gotta decide what you guys really meant by this. It's like, bitch, like, it's in the like, read it. Like,
exactly.
It's right there.
Plain as day.
What the fuck?
It's plain as day. It's paternalistic bullshit. And it's just such the Republicans' game. And I'm just sick to death of it. I'm sick to death of it. So yeah.
Yeah, that's our headlines.
So that's how we feel about George Bush dying.
Yeah, that was it.
Journalists be better. God damn it.
Yeah, come on.
So in other news, we actually have some happy news this time about.
Yeah.
In headlines. So a university in New Jersey called Rider University voted to remove, so they were doing a survey trying to figure out what the students would want as dining options on campus.
Right.
And they originally had included Chick-fil-A, and then they did a second survey where they had excluded Chick-fil-A. And come to find out, they did that because they were like, you know what? Actually, Chick-fil-A is kind of problematic, and we should just not have them here.
Right.
Like, if we really believe that we're a university where inclusion is important and a part of, like, our mission,
right,
then we can't have dining options where that's not the same.
Yeah. Well, they feel like one group of people are less than, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
For whatever reason. You know
Absolutely. And I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fucking fair.
I think that's good, yeah.
I mean, I think if
people
they want
need to...
Sorry,
go ahead.
No, go.
Oh, I was going to say, if they think it's fair to be able to come out and say, well, we just take what the Bible says about, who fucks who.
Yeah.
Then they have the right to say, okay, cool, then you can't fucking be here.
Yeah.
Period,
right?
point
blank. Period.
That's the thing about free speech is it works, both ways. You know what I mean? It's like we can reject you for it too.
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't mean that we have to take you no matter what you're screaming and yelling about.
Exactly. And it really, it's like, this is how you become an ally. This is how you take inclusion seriously. Because you basically say, you elevate the needs of the marginalized community over bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because so often the members of the marginalized community are told to suck it up, buttercup, be uncomfortable, feel ostracized, feel the other, get over it. Because my comfort and what I want is worth more than you feeling actually included.
Right.
And this university was just like, no, we want you to actually feel included.
Right.
Like, we actually care about that.
Yeah.
And we make sacrifices that people might give us shit for, because tons of people are going to give you shit for that. Because it's against religious freedom and all that other bullshit that they pull. Even though, how impractical. Don't you need to feed students 7 days a week?
Right.
How impractical.
Right, yeah, that's true too. Like, they gotta be able to eat on a fucking Sunday, asshole.
Like,
because you're like, God went to sleep, so you gotta like close your fucking thing or whatever. It's like ridiculous. Like,
it's absolutely ridiculous. And I just find Chick-fil-A's offensive. I'm always offended by how long those lines are. And people waiting in the fucking, like, it's not that interesting.
Right, yeah. It's
really not that interesting.
It's plain as fuck, man.
It's unseasoned fried chicken on a fucking sweet bread roll. Right. Like, it's not that interesting.
Really nothing. Credit where credit's due, that Chick-fil-A sauce is fucking pretty good.
Chick-fil-A sauce is everything, but you can replicate it so motherfucking easy. It's really boring ass sauce.
Yeah, it's really just barbecue sauce and honey mustard.
That's really it.
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, how boring do you have to be where deluxe means a fucking lettuce leaf and a tomato? That's what deluxe means. How bland is that? How bland is that? I'd be like, can a nigga get an onion up in here? Like, can I just get an onion somewhere in here?
No! Get out! What are you doing?
Like, you can choose white, red. It's up to you.
Right.
Dealer's choice. But can I get an onion?
And how do they get all those young white kids to work there?
Oh my God.
Is that everywhere?
I swear to you, it's a fucking conspiracy.
Man.
I have never seen a fucking food, like a fast food place that's able to somehow employ every, like, middle-class white child looking for a part-time job.
Yeah, seriously.
It's like they hold special, secret job fairs at only certain schools.
Yeah.
Yeah. How the fuck else do they find them?
Like, they just go to Christian schools. I swear.
Oh, you're probably right.
I swear. That's it. There's no other way. And they'll have, like, usually, like, one black person.
There's, like, one.
Yeah.
There's one black person.
And I'm sure they're related to somebody that goes to church at Calvary Chapel.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
they go to the big Christian church.
Yeah, whatever it is.
There's like 5 black families in it.
There is. Seriously.
It's just such
like
a
2.
weird... It's a weird place. And it's weird that it's like a thing that families seem to do.
Yeah.
Like, where they just, like, have a Chick-fil-A night.
Yeah.
That's just like a normal thing.
Yeah, it's like a charades night or something, like, except it's
it's Chick-fil-A. And it's just so clear it's for white people.
Yeah.
Because it's just the most
and it's
protected and cozy and fragile thing ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But go ahead.
And you see, like, the bad, like, there's such a fuck you attitude that they have, because you hear how there's, like, every time you go in there, it's worship music. But
yep.
Obviously they got, like, too many complaints because they were playing worship music, and so now they play worship music but without the words.
Yes.
Now you're not allowed to get mad because we're not actually saying anything. It's just every song sounds exactly the fucking same.
And it's offensive because I'm not even, like, a really Christian person. Like, I was never, like, I never understood all those, like, new age Christian music.
Oh, yeah.
Because my church still sang the old stuff.
Like hymns and stuff like
that.
Yeah,
and like, and the, like, old spirituals. So, but I remember seeing all of those infomercials selling those Christian CDs.
Oh, yeah.
So even I knew all the, like, popular
like
songs.
Wow or something. Worship, yeah. Like
even I knew all the popular songs because I remember seeing that fucking commercial over and over and over again. So, going to Chick-fil-A, I'm like, y'all are not getting away with anything.
No.
But yeah, Chick-fil-A's,
they're the worst.
Yeah, yeah. So, Rider University, good job, like, actually practicing inclusion.
Seriously.
That's how you do it.
That's fucking awesome.
That's how you do it.
Very good.
Okay, so Biggest Be Crazy?
Yeah, so for Biggest Be Crazy, we have first, there was an article in Pathos, the Friendly Atheist blog, and you know, and it was this, and I'd never heard of this. This was news to me, and I think I saw it was like something that I don't know. Sarah was there too from Sarah Talk. We were talking about it, but it was a slave Bible. Is a stark reminder of how the Holy Book can justify evil. You know, and it's it's this weird, like, version of the Bible that I guess was, like, maybe, I guess, printed, but it was put out just to give to the slaves back in the day. And it leaves out, like, anything referring to people being equal.
Or freedom or anything
or
like that.
freedom or anything like that. Like, it's, 50% of the Old Testament's gone. And
No. 90% of the Old Testament
90%. Jesus Christ.
And 50% of the New Testament.
And 50% of the New Testament. Jesus Christ. There was that much stuff they thought was good in those books. There's no way. It was all horrible. What are they talking? Anyway. But, you know, of course they left in, like, the servants be obedient to them that are your masters. That was said by Jesus. There was the missing portion of his letter to the Galatians that reads, "There is neither bond nor free, for ye are all one in Jesus Christ, or Christ Jesus." You know, just anything that just shows equality, you know, or anything like that. But you know, it was fascinating to me, and I kind of wanted to just, like, hear what you thought about it. You know, I don't know.
It's like, I'm not surprised.
Right? Yeah.
Those motherfuckers were evil.
Yeah.
You know, I think this is the part that I wish Black people as a whole would see and make this like radical shift and decide to just leave the church altogether and create something completely different.
Yeah, you don't need it.
Because it's already a hard relationship, right? Because eventually we did get the whole Bible and we did read it and we did use it to get freedom.
Yeah, to better the community.
And so it's hard to, but yeah, the initial it was a con job. It was brainwashing.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't.
It's the same thing it is today. It's just just different people use it, for different reasons.
Yeah.
It's
still being used in the same way.
It is. It really, but it's just you brainwash yourself. You know what I mean? That's the way they sell it. Is keep brainwashing yourself. Here you go.
Yeah, because we've bought into this idea. Because let's be real. Your average Black Christian would see an article like that if it was written in an actual Christian website and would say, "Oh, thank God that Jesus has delivered us from these evil monsters. They were not true Christians indeed." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there would be this huge rationalization of how the fact that stuff is even in the Bible disqualifies it. They wouldn't get to that place. Right. Instead, they would say the evil people who did this to the Bible were not really Christians.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's the takeaway. And it's like, no, girl, that's not the takeaway. The takeaway is this Bible is disqualified.
Yeah.
For so many reasons.
I hate that no Scots. I mean, it's like, because that's what it is, the no Scotsman fallacy. The no true Scotsman fallacy. Because, it's like you say they're not a true Christian or whatever. Mm-hmm. They constantly love to say that shit. Mm-hmm. And it's like, do they identify as a Christian? Do they say, I am a Christian? They're fucking Christians. Shut the fuck up. Like, no one's a real Christian because Christianity isn't fucking real. You know what I mean? But the idea of Christianity is real, I guess, and people can identify as it. So I guess it is real in the sense that you can identify as a Christian, but as far as what they believe being real, it's not real.
Yeah.
So them saying they're not a real Christian isn't real. Anyway, but whatever. I'm going in circles here. But yeah, so I don't know. It's frustrating.
No, that's a great observation, and I think deep down, how do I put this? I feel like deep down, Black Christianity, especially today, is meant to garner power in the white supremacist structure. So it's used to give respectability. It's used to show, hey, we're not different from you. We're just like you.
Right.
We're just God-fearing, trying to raise our kids, good people just like you are. Yeah. That's what it's meant to do, because let's be honest, that's what most of them are doing these days. That's what they're trying to do. They're not leading the cause on, Black Lives Matter. They're not out here trying to make sure schools are, doing what they need to do for students of color. They're not leading any revolutions.
Right.
And so I hate the way that it's now just this way to feel like you're a good human.
Yeah. But I still feel like for the most part, maybe I'm incorrect. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like I've heard like Tracy on Atheist Experience talk about how some people use religion to serve, like their religion serves them, right? Mm-hmm. And I do feel like with the Black community, like the way they use religion, like it is there to serve them, and it does serve them in a lot of ways, right? As far as community and things like that go, right? It's not like how my family is and stuff, where they are serving the religion. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And there's kind of a difference there, because they will give up everything for this religion, to whereas other people recognize that, no, I'm not going to give up everything, but if this religion helps me, I'll use it for as much as it helps me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
no, Black people still live in the real world.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's where I'm getting at there more than anything.
Like, we still live in the real world. Like, yeah. You can't, that's the thing about white churches, especially white, like, mega churches and stuff, is, like, you get to create this big installation.
Yeah.
Like, your kids all go to the same Christian schools, and they all go to the same Christian summer camps, and they all go, you know, y'all all go to Chick-fil-A the same night, and you know what I mean? Like, you're all on the same, like, soccer team, and, you know, you're beautifully insulated from anything your parents don't want you to be a part of.
Right.
If your parents don't want you to see it, it's not in your life.
Yeah.
And it's just not that for Black people.
No.
We don't have that insulation at all. We're every bump and bruise and knock you get, we're getting it.
Yeah, you can't not live in the world, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You see some shit too early.
That's a good point. Like white Christians have that ability to kind of insulate their kids and, like, make it... It's like me, like, where I didn't, you know, like, basic realities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a child until I grew up, you know, because I was homeschooled the whole time. Who the fuck can afford to do that? You know what I mean? You have to be home 24/7. You know what I mean? It's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's, you know, it's really expensive. It's hard to do. You know? But
yeah.
You gotta have some shit to be able to do it.
Yeah, right? Let's see. What else So, yeah. Slave owners were fucking bigots.
Yeah, that was insane.
Doing that, for sure.
That was really fucked up. I couldn't believe that existed. I was like, wow.
I really wish that the discovery of that would create a ripple effect to question everything, but unfortunately...
Yeah. That's what they do. They rationalize. You know? I mean, you can sit there and point out fallacies in the Bible straight to them, and they'll be, well, that was written by man, like, or whatever. You know, whatever their fucking apologetic response is that they've got memorized.
Yeah, and like you can't pick and choose the Bible. You got to read it all together.
Yeah.
There's always a reason.
Context to context.
Every last one of them was a fucking scholar. All right. What else? So, the Satanic Temple.
Oh, yeah. This is kind of funny.
Yeah.
So we all know, I'm sure by now, I hope you know, but the Satanic Temple is suing the show, the new, what is it, The Creepy Adventures or something?
The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
It's creepy. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix, which is great, by the way. Like, I really enjoy it. You know, I'm still in the middle of it. I haven't finished it or anything, but it's really fun. What I've watched of it so far, it's really good. But they're being sued by the Satanic Temple?
Yes.
Satanic Temple, that's it. Because I guess there's another one too, right? That's different. The Church of Satan.
Church of Satan.
The Levian Church of Satan.
Yeah, I think that's something else. So the Satanic Temple is the one that's about pushing for free speech and growing empathy and equality. So it's the good one for sure.
And it's the one that pushes separation of church and state. And that's why they put up their statue all over the place. Whenever Christians decide to put up the Ten Commandments, they're like, okay, cool, then we're going to put our shit up too.
Yeah.
You know? And they do that.
You will not get away with that.
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, only Christians seem to be able to get away with that, and it's great that they've been able to do it. But in doing this, the statue that they've put up all over the country, they've patented.
Yes. Or copyrighted.
Yeah. Whatever it is, you know. I think patented is the general term for copyrighted or registered or any of that shit. Right?
Is it?
Because you make a patent one way or I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay,
I don't know. I was
cool.
homeschooled. Leave me alone.
Okay, continue.
Yeah. But, so anyway, so that they patented it, and so when Netflix used it, and of course Netflix is using it for fucking the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which is the show Satanist as these satanic witch spirit believing in monsters.
He's like their bad god that's like hell bent on apocalyptic shit.
Yeah, and it's like if you did that with anybody else's like deities and stuff, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Jesus, for example.
Like, yeah, and it would be like, because we were talking and you were like, no, but the Christians are bad guys in shows sometimes, right? But they're not misrepresented. They're not being misrepresented. Yeah, Christians are actually like that. Like they weren't misinterpreting like their religion at all. You know, but they're saying that these the Satanists or whatever are the Satanic Temple are believing in demons and things like that.
Yeah,
that's completely misrepresenting the religion. You know, completely, and that's almost kind of a problem for them because when you say you're a Satanist, people are like, oh, well, you worship Satan. Oh, fuck no,
and that shit can cause violence.
Yeah, Because people don't look into it. They don't know what it is.
No,
they
accept anything. You say Satan, and all of a sudden
like,
people
what?
just
Whoa.
shiver.
Whoa.
It's just ridiculous. So we looked this article up, and I happened upon this article written up on ChristianHeadlines.com.
Christian
So we just wanted
Headlines.com.
to
Just go ahead and say it.
highlight a few of the beauties,
Yeah,
a few of the
great.
comments from these concerned Christians. So, the very first comment is, God will destroy these evil people in the end. So, whatever. I like how he went Valley Girl at the end there.
So, whatever. I don't even like, whatever. Big W. Like,
Let's see. Oh,
great.
man.
Oh, man.
Our computer's
doing the
messing
thing.
up. It's doing weird things.
It does this, like, mind of its own stuff.
No! Okay,
Alright,
maybe
flip it
there
around.
is a God?
He got mad about that. Hey, don't make fun of my peeps, okay?
Oh my
fuck up your
God.
computer.
Apparently. Oh my God. Okay, so y'all, it has completely shut down. It's just like
Wait, here,
not
flip it around.
coming up.
Flip the keys out. I think that's a mess.
So many things to see and places to go.
Oh
What
my
is
God.
happening?
What
No
is...
matter what time of the year you choose
Yeah.
to travel,
Her computer, like, has, like, its own mind. and shit.
Oh, what is happening right now?
For real. It could really... and that does that often. And see, that's the type of confirmation bias the Christian would use. Like, you know, if they were doing something like this and then their computer messed up, even though we have a common problem with the computer messing up,
It messes up
we
all
would
the
still
time.
be like, oh my gosh, that was God. Dude,
That's
it was
fucking,
God.
it's just too much of a coincidence.
It was too much. It's too much. See what I mean? Like, it's so funny. We do the show basically live, too, also. I don't really like to edit too much out. So, if all that's in there, we apologize. But, I usually like the raw feel of, so, what's the other one? Where's the other one?
One woman just went disgusting.
And that's funny, because
just
that's like
disgusting.
that's usually my, like, word for when something's, like, really racist or something. Like, I'm like, this is fucking disgusting. That's all I can think to say. You know, I'm like, just so upset.
Someone else, the statue is evil.
Evil.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. What's that one? No, it's like...
Well, somebody said, we need to turn back to God. We need lots and lots of prayers. Don't you love
Keep
that
up
old
that.
lady?
That
That old lady
poor
that's
lady.
just like, I'm going to pray it all the way.
They'll sit for hours doing that at their time. Oh, God. Poor thing. I don't even know. Oh, gosh.
Let's see. Here's an all caps guy.
Oh, God.
It is evil. They are evil. Whether they understand that is a separate issue. God will settle all accounts. Satan lost at the cross, yet fights on convincing fools they're not finished. But Christ said it all on the cross. It is finished.
What does that mean?
That's been my dramatic reading.
That was great.
Of
That was
bigots.
very good.
Yeah, he feels
Wow.
really passionately.
It's finished, even though this is happening right now. So it's not really finished, dude. So funny.
Oh
What was
my
the one
God.
where they're talking about people like being sacrificed and shit? Like, they like to sacrifice kittens.
Oh my gosh, this weird woman at the top. I was skipping it because she misspells so many words. It's so hard to read it. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Their religion also has animal mutilation.
Got to utilize the animals. That's
Animal and people sacrifices. Are we supposed to accept those two like we are forced into Slowamug?
what is it? supposed to be?
Amduro accepting Sharia law just because it's in their religion?
But what were they trying to
I
say?
don't know.
Hold
I
on.
don't know.
I think they might have been trying to say
Slowamug.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Okay, accepting Sharia law just because it's their religion, our laws, not those of people like these two religions, have rights also. It seems to be only Christians whose rights are at risk. This sentence before the last sentence was just too much. I couldn't.
We're under attack here that we can't have our religion be over anybody else's. What's up with that?
It's such incoherent babble. It's gobbledygook. I don't get it. Like, why do you have so much gall to get on the internet and do this? Don't you have any self-respect?
No.
Like,
they have self-hatred. That's what they have. They believe they're evil. Like, I know I'm just an evil piece of shit, God. I know I'm just evil. I'm garbage. I'm just terrible. Let me just try to do this one thing to be good, and then I'm garbage. I know I'm garbage. That's the way they think, man.
I can't.
It's really depressing. Really.
It's so depressing. And it's also just, it's like, this is a prime example when people are always like, oh no, we can't keep moving the Democrats to the left. Like, we have to fight for rural voters. You know, Claire McCaskill came out recently and was salty about how the Democrats aren't supporting rural voters and they're moving to,
what the fuck do you want us to do?
The crazy left. But it's crazy because there'll be some people who are Democrats who are like, well, they're right. We need to make sure we're making policies that speak to them. We can't leave any voters behind. You know, we need to, and then they'll start like listing policies that they'll come up with, like policy ideas.
Like what? What do rural people even give a fuck
like,
about?
You know, like free internet in that area and some of that, like more
they
hospitals.
Don't give a fuck about.
Okay, wait. But that's the thing, right? Like, that's the thing about it. Is like, at the end of the day, we're talking about these kind of people. This incoherent gobbledygook. Do you know how many paces you have to get them caught up on before you even introduce something like that? Like, the very first thing they're going to tell you is, that's a socialist policy. I don't want shit to do with it. Like,
exactly. I'd rather say that than have free internet.
Exactly. I'm like, oh my God, what world do you live in? Have you seen comments lately? Have you seen any videos about Trump voters? Like, these are not people that you can just be like, here's what I want to do for you. And they're like, oh, cool, great, I'll vote for you. No, them motherfuckers are skeptical as hell.
Yeah. Of anything that's not to do with like stuff they think is, I don't know. It's hard to explain because when you're all alone out there, right, and you got all this like fake junk you can look at, and you can just be comforted by your religious websites that are meant to keep you in fear, even though you're way the fuck off by yourself and nobody's even around, but you're like terrified of the cities and like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so weird, but it's just like it's the ability to keep yourself locked in this little like matrix bubble thing. That's what makes me think of. It's like you're just like plugged into a fucking matrix. You know what I mean?
It's terrifying.
That controls everything that they consume.
It's terrifying. You know? It's terrifying that we have an entire community of people creating their lives in with the express purpose of being away from anyone not like them.
Yeah. And then
like the express purpose.
It's just like that one when we did that listen to a Trump voter I don't know, a few episodes ago where he was like, you know, would those people down at the border give a shit about me because their taxes got raised up, you know, and I have to sell a couple of my cows, you know, and would they care about that? Would they care about me? Okay, well that's why I don't, you know, and it's like, what the fuck you, man? Yeah. Damn, like what a fucking shitty way to look at the world.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't care about anybody else's situation except for my own.
Yeah.
Because they're not thinking about me. I mean, like they don't know who the fuck you are. I'm sure if they got to know you, they would be concerned with your problems, man. You know, but you're not even giving them a chance to fuck you, dude. Like, you know, it's like Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't know. People are shit.
These comments were just baffling to me.
That was pretty funny.
The world we live in, 2018. All we know, and we're still dealing with this.
Yeah,
I just can't.
I know.
So yeah, I guess we normally would do Trump tweets, but goddamn, I just can't.
Yeah, fuck. Okay,
Trump has just been,
and there's been a lot of like good ones out there. Don't get me wrong. That we, you know, that are funny, and everything. You know, and we'll leave that to like the
people who do it best.
Yeah, you know, like, because they do a better job anyway. And I'm done.
Yeah.
I fuck fuck all that shit. I don't.
And it's just so.
It's way too close to to him personally. When you're like looking at him like, ugh, this is weird because we were starting to, and then
it's
you
like,
just.
I don't feel like I should know this.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in his head, like reading his thoughts. Like, ugh, get me out of here.
Exactly.
You know?
Like Trump is incredibly thirsty right now.
Yeah.
Like he's so fucking thirsty. Like it's like his Twitter is that boyfriend that you had that was a fucking asshole the entire time you were together, and then you finally wised up to it and broke up with his ass, and you went about living your best life. So your Twitter and your Instagram popping with all your best life pictures, and he chooses to go on his Twitter and Instagram and talk shit about you the whole time. Like, that's basically what he's doing to every person he doesn't like, particularly Robert Mueller. Like, it's just constant tweet attacks against your ex. That's what it feels like we're watching, and
Mueller's
I can't
the
be a
boyfriend.
part of it. Mueller's the boyfriend. He's the ex-boyfriend just out here trying to live his best life. He done met a new man. They clicking, they vibing, and Trump is getting rumors heard. You know, hearing rumors that
he's checking
Mueller
his page
is
every
moving
day.
on, and he's just like, I can't live like this. I need the world to share this pain. Let me go to Twitter and, you know, tweet off some bullshit. Oh my gosh! Get away! Go away!
Just stop.
Can't have this in my life anymore.
He just seems so paranoid, dude. Like, the one
And
was at like 5 a.m. He's like awake and he like tweets one and does a ... And I think it's like a fucking hour later.
Yes.
Because I'm like, where's this other? Because I'm up at that time. So I saw it like right when it came out. And I'm like, where the fuck's the rest? And I sat there for like ever. Where the fuck? And it's like 6:15, like an hour later, he tweets it again. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Like, you woke up at 5 a.m. to like tweet this, and then what? Like, you couldn't finish it? Like,
Exactly.
Like, oh shit, I passed out there. I passed out.
Yeah,
It's early, okay?
we just are not going to be doing Trump tweets. It's just, it's too
I
intimate.
think we're gonna have
It's
to
too
cut.
intimate.
Yeah,
It's just too
I
intimate.
can't be in his head like that, man. I feel like I'm in that movie, The Cell.
Oh, yes. And we're being like German expressionists fucked right now in the head. No thanks. So I guess Nerd Corner.
Nerd Corner, yeah.
And now, Nerd Corner.
So this week for Nerd Corner, we actually saw Venom.
Finally.
Yeah, finally. It took us a minute. But it was great. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was... But again, I have a major bias, so I can't really determine whether or not I like the movie because it was a good movie, or if I like the movie because Venom's like one of my favorite characters. You know, was it a good movie? Like, are you especially a Venom fan?
I am not.
No.
And so I thought it was a very good movie.
Ah, okay.
Well, should I say very good? I don't know.
It seemed like it was almost just as good as like a Marvel movie. They just didn't have as much money. That's the way it felt to me. Like, it felt like the certain parts were kind of rushed by because they just had to get it done. I don't know. That's the way it felt a couple parts. Where I was just
Yeah,
like,
I see that.
That felt rushed. So, like, it's a lot to fit into one movie too. But I mean, like, it's the way they did it.
And I don't know. I want to. Okay, no shade, but I don't understand Tom Hardy. I don't understand why Tom Hardy is a fan.
Really? Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I
No,
just
that's all
don't.
right.
I know that's
I didn't
a
know-
popular opinion.
No.
Like, he does have a really nice behind, and he does have like really big lips, but
Yeah.
like I just
He does,
there's
you're
something
right.
about him that seems so unclean, and like he would just wreck your whole fucking world. I don't know, like. I'm still. I don't. understand.
That's why I guess that was realistic for him to do that.
Yeah. Well, no, because like he gets cast well.
Yeah.
Like Bane.
Bane was awesome. I didn't know who he was until Bane.
Oh,
So
really? Okay.
once I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, who is this guy? I like him. I like him."
Yeah, but like when he's cast in like regular roles where he's just playing like a husband or some shit. It's real. I don't know. It just always feels suspect. Anyway.
Yeah.
Regardless, I got to see Riz Ahmed for 90 minutes, so that was enjoyable.
Yeah.
And he was a good bad guy.
Yeah.
So
very
it was a good movie.
Yeah.
And the end credit scene was really awesome.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
No spoilers, but
yeah, I don't want to.
Quite cool.
But it's almost like watching an entire movie for the last.
Yes.
I mean, I almost felt like that because I was looking for this the whole movie, and then you finally get it at the very like post first credit scene, right? Like they do the just where they're like doing animations and showing names for a bit,
Yeah,
and then it goes back. So stay past that part, but then after that, I don't think there was not a.
And then my only other real complaint too is like, why would you put Jenny Slate in a movie and not let her be funny?
Oh yeah,
that was really
point.
weird.
Yeah.
So Jenny Slate was in it, aka oh fuck, what was her name? Mona Lisa Saperstein from Parks and Recreation.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
yeah.
Jenny Slate was in the movie, and she played like a scientist, and
what
her whole character arc made no fucking sense, and I kept waiting for her to become funny, and it just never happened. And I'm like, fuck this shit. This is an underutilization of Jenny Slate.
Funny. I did not realize that was her.
Yes,
I
see?
did not know that.
They made her into like a super straight character.
Yeah.
That she was just a pretty girl.
Well, she was like just like very shy and very like concerned. And kind of, like,
she looked like the
just like your
busy scientist mom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what you would think of as like a concerned scientist, you know,
which is weird. Like, why cast Jenny Slate then? I don't know. That's just odd.
She nailed it.
Yeah, she was great. She did it. She hit her mark, but it wasn't like it was very deeply.
It's just odd
written.
You know? Yeah.
So I don't know. That was just really odd. I felt like an odd casting choice.
It was almost kind of like the Amityville with Ryan Reynolds, and you're kind of like waiting for him to be funny, and you're like, oh, he's not going to be funny in this movie.
I see that comparison.
You know what I mean?
But I think that one's less uncanny feeling because Ryan Reynolds, to me, has always been funny in that way that can turn psychotic quickly.
Oh, okay.
Like he always, he
right.
seems like the type of person he seems like that kind of comedian that also gets severely depressed when they are depressed.
Oh yeah.
So, so that like transition to him like serious acting didn't feel like that much of a jump.
What about Jim Carrey and like
again? Also, didn't feel like that big of a jump because he's always like Jim Carrey's comedy always made me uncomfortable because he was always like one step away from being like truly mentally ill and absurd.
It's like ridiculous. Yeah, I mean he was an overactor. I mean that was kind of what was so.
That's for sure.
But that's we were just saying like that Jerry Lewis it's like the Jim Carrey of back then. You know what I mean? He was like the overactor.
And it's not that I'm saying Jenny Slate can't do serious roles. She can. Like I actually really enjoy some of her more serious roles, but it's just like her serious roles usually have her as a comedic person.
Right. Yeah. Like for that purpose.
Yeah. So it was just odd to see. But yeah, Venom was good.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry. Yeah.
It was also another big Marvel week because we got the extended Captain Marvel
we got
trailer.
some trailers to go over. Yeah.
As well as
Captain Marvel and
Avengers Endgame.
Avengers Endgame is the name
trailer.
of it. Endgame. Okay.
So let's start with...
Because, like, what was that? And I guess it was just a prank. But remember that with Mark Ruffalo where he, like, spilled the beans of, like, the name of the and he said, like, called it Fallen Guardian or some shit. Or, confused, made everybody think that somebody died.
Yeah.
Know? Like that, you know. But,
well, the interesting thing is I heard about that whole thing happening and I read nothing about it because I am the type of person, I don't want to read anything. I don't want to read any theories. Hard. I don't want to know a thing. It's so hard.
The theories are
so hard. Yeah. And I don't know why I'm that person now. Because when I first started watching Game of Thrones, part of the reason why I was so into it was I became so into it because I was constantly on a wiki of Ice and Fire, reading everything I possibly could all the time.
Yeah.
So, I saw Jon's parentage coming a mile away. I could have a conversation with people like 2-3 seasons ago about where it was going.
Yeah, because that was in the books and shit too.
Yeah, right? But now all of a sudden I'm just like, I don't want to read. I don't want to know shit about Game of Thrones. Don't you tell me shit about Game of Thrones. I want to talk about Game of Thrones. And I'm the same way with like the Marvel movies too. Yeah. Like I'm dying to go to the Captain Marvel wiki right now and read a bunch of stuff about her, but I'm also like afraid that they're gonna like
change little things you might like and stuff like that,
or throw in some fucking movie spoilers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, see, I almost like that. I kind of like being able to, like, go check out what the movie's kind of going to be like, at least. Or at least see what it's based on. Because then you're like, oh, then you see all these little details that are in it that the director and the writers, like, shoehorned in, you know, to make it, like, be connected to the comics. I just like that. I like all the little details. And Marvel does not leave out. There's no shortage of detail.
No.
I mean, there's no throwaway names.
No.
There's no throwaway anything. Like they everything that they say and do in there is from something.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They don't seem to take many liberties. They just seem to be like, what can we fit in? How much of it? They don't change. Like there's some like Stephen King movies and stuff. I remember there was one. I can't remember what it was, but the guy had a lucky number and they changed it from a 7 to a 5. Like for what? For what? Why would you do that? That makes absolutely no sense. Like, it doesn't do anything to the story.
It's so weird.
You know what I mean? Like, it just goes from a 7 to a 5. You know what I mean? That's it. Like, maybe they didn't like the number 7, but why?
That's so weird.
Yeah, it was. No, it's just shit like that it's so obnoxious that they used to do in a lot of superhero movies, but now that Disney has taken it up, they seem to be very true to the comics, which has been...
Well, and let's talk about that, because in the Avengers Endgame trailer, it opens with Tony recording basically his last message to himself, to Paula. I mean,
to
Pepper. God damn.
Pepper Potts.
Pepper Potts. Basically saying goodbye.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, while I was watching it, I was like, God, this, even though I can't stand Pepper Potts, this
I hate her too.
scene feels so much more authentic than even the most overwrought romantic scenes between Clark and
Clark and
Lois Lane.
Lois, yeah.
In Justice League and Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
And it feels so much deeper than... I mean, it just feels like the relationships in DC just don't feel deep enough.
No.
They don't feel authentic.
It's very surface level. Well, you gotta realize we've had a lot of time with Tony.
That's
you know what I
true.
mean? We've been seeing him for a long time in a lot of different movies.
Shit, you just called him by his first name.
Huh?
You just called him by his first name like he was an old friend.
He is an old friend. I've been friends with him since, what, 2008?
Yeah.
When Iron Man came out.
We were old pals. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
You know, they had a lot more time to
You're
develop those characters. And, like, DC had to kind of just go fast as fuck. You know, for some reason started on the Batman Superman thing. Which is, like, if you were a DC fan, you know, and you were just spitting out ideas at a meeting, I could see that. I could see starting with Batman Superman, because you've never seen a connection. You don't want the first one to be a Justice League.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're going to have some type of connection movie. And so Batman Superman, you know, fine. Okay, cool. Yeah, I get it.
You know, maybe it isn't just the DC comics in and of themselves are flawed. Maybe it's the interpretation. Because now that I sit here, I recognize that actually, if I think about the Dark Knight series, like the Christopher Nolan series, there was more of a connection. Like I did feel like the connection that the connection between Batman and Alfred. Well, sure,
Alfred,
but I'm thinking about
that's
Batman
true.
and Alfred.
Yeah.
It was so much more well developed in that series than it is in the current one. Like, don't get me wrong, I love me some Jeremy Irons.
Oh, he's
one
awesome.
of my favorite people in the universe. Like,
and he did a good job.
Listening to him talk makes me happy.
Yeah.
But there doesn't seem to be that same level of familiarity and care.
No. Yeah.
Between the Ben Affleck and Jeremy Irons as it was between Michael Caine and Christian Bale.
Yeah, no, definitely. But we had a lot more time to get with them. Like, each of those movies were like
That's
3
true.
hours or whatever, 2 hours.
It did feel like it.
You know, we had a lot of time with them, just them two. You know?
Yeah.
But, man, he does that. Jeremy Irons does have a great voice.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, I could listen to him fucking narrate the Bible.
Yes. And I love it when he says, like, quippy shit.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
I
he
realized,
was good at the quips.
The Man in the Iron Mask is on something right now, and I was like, I gotta watch that because that's one of my favorite things is watching like Jeremy Irons and John Malkovich be in a movie together randomly.
Yeah, right? That was weird.
So
right?
weird. It's great though.
I love John Malkovich. Like
he's the best. He also has an amazing fucking voice.
He does, and he has a good way about him. Like what do you think? Like Christopher Walken, where you kind of just develop this style that you just keep on putting out as a character in every movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the way you talk. Like, you just have this cool way about you. And, he's definitely got that.
Yeah, for sure. He's just naturally cool.
Yeah.
He even has his own, like, clothing line. He's, like, a fashion designer right now.
What?
Yeah. He's like that thoroughly creative, artistic person who's just like, I want to do all the things. And yeah, so what else? So yeah, I'm really excited about those movies.
Yeah, me too. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Like when I was watching the Captain Marvel trailer, I was just like, I just remember sitting back and I was just like, woo, this bitch is there. Like, she's just so badass.
Yeah.
And I just was so happy and proud of Brie Larson because I remember watching the United States of Tara when it came out.
Oh, shit.
And Brie Larson was there. And I was like, who is this incredibly interesting, beautiful girl? Like, she was acting her ass off. And I was like, she's amazing. I love her. Like, because usually I hate all teenage characters on TV shows. I fucking hate them because they write them to be such assholes.
Yeah.
Like, unrepentant assholes.
Yeah.
Like, they rarely ever give them a chance to show decency. Right. So I really hate the way adults write teenagers in a lot of these shows.
So indignant. It's like, my fucking teenage piece of shit. Let me write you, like, let me show you what you're like.
I'm gonna get back at you.
Watch this show, goddammit. Exactly. Now show you what you're like.
So I loved United States of Tara because they let the her children be real, full characters.
Right.
So, but it was written by a woman, of course.
Oh, right.
Get
more depth to the characters.
But anyway, yeah, so it was so yeah, it was just great seeing her come full circle to like now being this huge, I mean, she's already a movie star. She already won an Oscar for Room, which was deserved.
Hell yeah. That was a great movie.
So I'm just really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to her being a superhero.
Yeah. And she was it looks like a lot of fun. Yeah. I'm really excited.
Yeah. So what else? Oh, we've seen some movies recently. We went to see Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh my god, it was so good. Oh my god, it was so good. So I actually have seen it twice. I went to go see it myself because I have another plug, AMC. I'm part of the A-list. Yep. What? So I can see 3 movies a week.
A week.
For $20 a month. It is.
And she is
phenomenal. I do. So, and Brent and I have opposite schedules, so my nights are usually free. So I usually am like, okay, I'll just go see a movie because we have lots of movies in common, but we have lots of movies that are not in common.
Right.
Like Brent doesn't want to usually go see like historical movies and like people wear in costumes and like have English.
Earlier than the 1920s, I lose interest.
You're just like, I don't know why. It's too fucking far back.
It's too far. Yeah. Starts to feel hokey. Nobody wears that. That's a person in a costume.
It's a miracle I got you to enjoy Game of Thrones because you were just so sure at first. You were like, I'm not going to like this. I'm not going to like it.
I really thought I would.
I can't do it. But you were like, oh my god, finally they do a costume. They do the costumes realistically.
Yeah, like I felt like,
and you're right. Yeah,
it didn't feel hokey. To me at all.
Like they're actually dirty and worn, and it feels very rough.
It feels very like, and almost like
textured even.
Right. It almost reminds me of like the first Star Wars, like when you see all like those ships and stuff and they're all beat up and shit, and that's like, damn, that's so realistic. Like you wouldn't have all these bright, shiny new shit like every other sci-fi.
Exactly.
You have some beat up, old looking, sand worn shit.
Exactly. So I use it mostly to go and see the movies that I know Brent probably is just not going to want to see.
Right.
At least not to go to the theater to see. He'll watch a movie at home all day, every day, but he just doesn't want to go out to a theater and sit there and watch it. So I went to go see Bohemian Rhapsody, and it was so funny because I was not having the best day in the world, and I was like, you know what, I need to go see a movie that'll probably snap me right out of it. And I was like, ooh, Bohemian Rhapsody would be perfect because if I could just hear a little bit of Queen music, I'm sure it'll be fucking a phenomenon.
Hell yeah!
So you smile from beginning to end.
Really, seriously.
And the end of the movie is basically a concert, and like if you're not careful, you're going to cry your fucking eyes out.
Right.
And it was so beautifully powerful. Yeah. And Rami Malek was exceptional as Freddie Mercury. Oh, God. He was exceptional.
He looked exactly like him.
Oh my God.
It's unbelievable.
You just stopped seeing Rami Malek almost immediately.
I didn't see him the whole movie.
He just wasn't there. No, that was Freddie. I was watching Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
And
amazing.
And at the end of the day, you leave that movie so happy that people like this exist.
Right.
Like, so proud of Freddie Mercury, not just because he was a musical fucking genius,
Right.
but because he didn't let the world make him into something he didn't want to be.
Right.
He lived in this world on his own terms, and he gave us, and even though we gave him shit for it, he said, whatever, girl, here's some beautiful music for your life.
Yeah, forever.
Forever.
It's still
here's
being
some
played
beautiful
now.
art for you.
Yeah.
And
So good. Dude.
I'm like, I get so pissed off when I think about all of these groups, because it's not just the Christians, it's pretty much every major religion that want these people to just not exist, who want us to just not exist.
Yeah. They want you to exist, but doing exactly what they want you to do.
Yeah. To stamp out anything about you that could contribute to this world in a way that you don't deem acceptable.
Right.
Like, well, fuck you, bitch. I deem it acceptable. Can I have it?
Right.
Can you just ignore it and let me have it?
Right.
And that's the thing that I constantly get pissed off about, and why I'm such a staunch supporter of the separation of church and state, regardless of everything, is because there are people that will always exist in this world that are meant to live on their own stratosphere. And to be honest, we all should have the right to that.
Yeah.
We all should have the right to that.
Exactly.
Just like you have the right to be your stodgy evangelical Christian self and live your dour ass life.
Right.
You have the right to do that.
Yeah,
Can you let us live our life in living color?
Right.
Please.
Just leave us alone. Like, leave people the fuck alone. You don't get to dictate how everybody has to be.
No.
You know?
Especially when it means, I mean, think about it. Right now, we have Bohemian Rhapsody playing in one theater that, while isn't, expressly political, you can't help but see the politics in it, especially considering he died of AIDS and how much, our government failed folks who were dying of AIDS.
Yeah.
They've completely failed them. They failed every single one of those people who died, and they failed every single one of their families. Every single person that loved these people, they failed them. They failed a fucking nation, man.
Really?
They
Seriously.
failed a fucking nation. And
Just like, what was that movie that we just watched a movie about that? With the Hulk.
A Normal Heart. Yeah.
A Normal Heart.
A Normal Heart.
That
yeah.
was a great movie.
It was fucking
excellent
movie.
Definitely see that movie.
Excellent movie.
Seriously, it's
A Normal Heart.
wow.
It's based on a play, and it's on HBO. Excuse me, because it was produced by HBO, and it's
it was. Okay.
a beautiful movie. The men are just so. That's what I like. It's just a beautiful movie to watch because everything about it is beautiful. Because it's in the 80s, and so they like every shot is beautiful. The men are beautiful. The way they shoot the men, and just everything about the movie, like, is just. I swear, every scene could be a fucking painting. It's just so gorgeous. Anyway,
It's just really good.
we just watched that,
but,
and so.
But it basically just showed you how the CDC and things like that just failed us as a nation.
Failed the nation.
Because they did not want to listen because it was only affecting gay people, and who the fuck cares about them, right? I mean, Jesus.
Who cares? They're getting what they deserve. Maybe it'll just
That's
extinguish them.
And then
the
it
most disgusting
spread to
shit.
like straight people, and they're like, okay, now we need to do something. And they're like,
Ready
fuck
to do
you
something.
guys. Fuck all of you.
Yeah, but it's just so sad knowing that in one theater we have Bohemian Rhapsody playing, where you see the struggles of trying to be openly or like gay and not have it be this huge deal, but also it is a huge deal in like the fucking 70s and 80s. And then also the next theater over, you have Boy Erased showing, which is based on a true story of a kid who basically was told either go to conversion therapy or lose your entire family.
Yeah.
And this shit is still happening.
Yeah. Conversion therapy is very much real in a lot. And it's illegal in a lot of countries. They've like illegalized it because it's so torturous.
It's just it's
disgusting.
it's so
really.
terrible. Like it's
horrible.
just I can't believe we're still dealing with this. I just read a story like maybe 2 weeks ago about a girl in college. She was on the basketball team. And a lesbian, and basically, I think she was given some kind of ultimatum. Yeah, she was given an ultimatum from her family that basically she needs to either go to conversion therapy or, and they'll continue to pay for her to go to college, or she needs to, stop, being a lesbian. You know what I mean? Or be a lesbian and like be cut off, basically.
What does that even mean? Like, stop
you know,
being
obviously she chose being a lesbian because that's what she is, and
the
they
options.
cut her the fuck off. They cut her completely off in every single way, shape, and form. And that was like, I read that story 2 weeks ago. So
That's disgusting.
it's sad to me.
Yeah, that's a loving
It's
God.
so sad. Yeah,
Jesus
right?
Christ. It has you rip your family apart on purpose.
On purpose
for him.
to teach a lesson.
That's disgusting.
So yeah, but outside of that, go see Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah,
especially
definitely.
if you want to have a pick me up. It is.
It's a lot
I
of
mean,
fun.
let's be real. They made some of the most amazing music ever.
For sure. Definitely.
And it's just, and it's also funny.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's so good. It's such a, it's a celebration of life. That's what it is.
Yeah, whole movie, and it's like the soundtrack. It was like the montages and things are just, it's incredible. Like the music and the, I don't know, it's just, you're gonna love it. Just go see it and have fun.
Exactly.
It's awesome.
Let's see here. What else? Okay, so we're gonna do some special trivia.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna do some special trivia. This week, we're gonna do some Marvel trivia.
Yeah, Marvel this time.
Okay, so you ready, Brent?
Yes.
How many people played Spider-Man on the big screen in the U.S. before Tom Holland?
How many people? How many
people played Spider-Man before Tom Holland?
before Tom Holland? Okay, so there was Tobey Maguire.
Okay.
One. The Garfield kid.
Andrew, yes.
No, it's Garfield played.
Okay.
Yeah, played by a cat. It was alright. And then there was like the 1970s one, right? So I'd say 3.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Let's see.
No. Hold on, let me think.
You think long, you think wrong.
I mean, does that include the cartoons and stuff? Or, okay, just say 3.
Okay.
Fuck.
That is incorrect. It was 2. Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. I said on the big screen.
Oh, the big screen. Okay,
yes.
my bad. Here's 2. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you wanna? That's my second question. That's my
Okay.
question.
What does the acronym SHIELD stand for in the MCU? This is hard, man. That's a hard one.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Okay, so we have Strategic Hazard Intervention Espionage Logistics Directorate. Sorry. Oh god.
What?
Okay, Strategic Hazard Intervention Espionage Logistics Department, Supreme Headquarters,
I know.
International Espionage Law Enforcement Division.
That's the comics. I'm sorry. I'm fucked up.
Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement and Logistics Division. I think it's the last one. Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement and Logistics Division.
Yeah, that's it. That is right. I told you. I remember that.
Awesome.
Because I remember being confused when he said it in the first movie and be like, wait a second. Oh, wait. And I was like, that's not what SHIELD stands for. It's like Supreme Homeland. I was like, that's not right. It's like Supreme Headquarters or something. What?
Let's see. Okay, here you go. This is a good one for you. In Thor, what kind of doctor is Jane Foster? Surgeon, astrophysicist, geologist, or a psychologist?
Definitely a psycho. No, I'm just kidding. She's a geologist. Fuck,
Wrong!
what?
He's an astrophysicist!
Oh, that's right. And I thought, what were they studying? I thought they were studying...
No, she was doing like the shit in the sky and the stars and stuff.
My bad.
Geology is rocks, man.
Yeah, that's what I thought she was doing. That's why that whole thing was set up around Thor's hammer, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
So what movie did Thanos first appear in?
Okay, what are the choices?
Avengers Age of Ultron, Iron Man 2, Marvel's Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy. I know this one too.
I low-key want to say Iron Man 2 because I feel like he appeared really early and then we didn't see him for a super long time. And then once he came back, then we started to see him more regularly.
Yeah, that's accurate, but yeah, okay.
You're trying to say, Nikki, you're logicking this wrong.
No, your logic is actually very sound. It's just you're going. I mean, I just feel like you're going a bit far with it. That's all.
I feel like the obvious answer is Iron Man 2. So I mean, if Marvel's Avengers, and I just don't want to go there.
Okay.
Damn it! It was Marvel's Avengers.
Told you, it's the final scene after everything. Remember? They're out in space, and then he's like, "It's the court death." Remember, and that's why I thought that.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, that means Lady
right.
Death is gonna be in the next one," but of course she wasn't.
No,
You know?
that wasn't what that was.
I really thought they were gonna go there, but
Damn. Well, I got that wrong. Okay, it is what it is. Some type of way.
Some type of way.
Okay.
Some type of way. Some type of way. Some type of way. Yeah. It's a fucking motherfucker, man. You fucking feel some type of way. Yeah.
So, my some type of way is that Black Panther does deserve the awards that it's getting recognized that it's getting nominated for. And I mean, oh my god, I saw like so many fucking shitty comments that were just so clearly just like people being dicks, about it. And like, a lot of people are saying it's not even the best Marvel movie, and they were like, yeah, Avengers should have, Infinity War should have been, not Black Panther. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not... No, because your average regular person couldn't go see Avengers Infinity War and enjoy it.
No.
You'd have to already know a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just a standalone movie. That's sort of like an amalgamation of all the movies, which is awesome. Don't get me wrong, I mean, they did a fucking phenomenal job, but I don't feel like it's as good as a standalone movie. Like, Black Panther as a standalone movie is phenomenal. You don't even need to know. You don't need to know shit. You don't need to know anything about any of the comics.
Listen, Black Panther is a whole mood.
Yeah,
like it has its own ethos going on, right? Yeah. Like it's the one movie where, like, my mama went to go see Black Panther, and she doesn't give a
fuck
about Marvel movies.
No.
And like I just there was,
it.
And I get the compunction to want to point out the flaws in the movie. Look, it wasn't a perfect movie. By far, it wasn't a perfect movie.
Like, I don't even know. Like,
I mean, there was some pacing issues. Some things could have been better written. There was definitely some times that Michael B. Jordan's acting was a little bit, and they could have done some retakes and had him give him different ways of feeling about it. I don't know, because
given his speech, he was a bit, I guess, like
like it's just it just felt like he was trying to deliver those lines. And it's very noticeable because there's so many really great actors.
Yeah, because when, like you said, when T'Challa's talking to his parents and stuff, he gets emotional too.
Like when T'Challa's talking, you feel every fucking thing he's saying. You feel it.
And the comedy lands every time. It's like so many good. Yeah, I don't know.
Like
I
love
Chadwick Michael B. Jordan. Which is funny because his name's actually Michael Jordan, but he couldn't be named Michael Jordan because we already have a Michael Jordan that we think of. That's so funny. It took me a minute to realize that. Just saying his name, I'm like, oh wait.
Yeah.
But anyway, but yeah, he definitely was. I mean, I still like him a lot in other stuff.
Yeah, no, he was still a great bad guy. He was still one of the better bad guys of Marvel, even.
Yeah,
like,
for sure. I like him a lot. But yeah. I know, but I still loved. I think Andy Serkis is like he was probably my favorite of the villains so far.
Yeah,
but his personality is so cool.
Even if you didn't love the movie, it was still, you cannot argue that it was a giant success, and it was well received by lots of critics. Not just because it was a quote unquote black movie, which they hate, but because he actually did he made some directorial choices that were bold for the genre, and that ended up being really effective and beautiful. Here's our neighborhood again, where people choose to have yelling conversations on the street in the middle of the night. Like this isn't a neighborhood. Oh my god. But and especially too the choices that he made and the way that just the sheer difficulty of sourcing that much. I mean, he made a whole new world.
Yeah, and that's what's so cool is the whole concept of like if Africa, like if there was that technology and that resource there at that time, you know, way in the past. Like it's so cool. What an awesome little like world to make, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I thought that was fucking
And
fascinating.
he made a world a fiction world and textured it with all of this real stuff. Like that he didn't have to do that.
No.
And it paid homage.
Okay, it's homage, but whatever. Keep going. Homage.
Homage. Like I can't say every opportunity to say an obnoxious French word. I feel like I have to take it. Like it's just there right for me. But yeah, it's just I just don't understand people who can't acknowledge that. Like, yeah, the story was Lion King, but the story of Lion King is compelling for a fucking reason.
Yeah.
And so, like, but besides all that, it was revolutionary for Marvel, and the movie fucking killed.
Yeah,
it killed, and it didn't just kill because it was a black movie. Give me a break.
And that's the
white guilt doesn't extend that far.
That was like the attitude of a lot of the posts. Was like, oh, it's only because it's a black movie and the politics behind it. Yeah.
I cannot stand this idea that if it's white and successful, it's objectively good.
Yeah,
and if it's black and successful, we got to take it with a grain of salt because black people's opinions and tastes can't be trusted. Yeah. When in actuality, it's our opinions and tastes that are actually the dominant,
genuine, like, you know,
in culture right now.
Right, exactly.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? You have fucking Instagram girls faking being black just to get more followers. You have fucking every Kardashian finding every top of his game black guy they can and having babies with them and wearing their cornrows. You have hip hop consistently being the music most played on the radio. You have movies that have black stars, as problematic as they are, constantly doing well. Like, let's be real, The Rock, fucking Kevin Hart, like.
He was the highest paid actor.
Last year. It's absolutely. I mean, you got Beyonce doing like making money. People didn't even realize recording artists could even fucking make.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like doing things that people didn't even realize recording artists were capable of doing.
Right.
Like, so what are you talking about?
Like, what is this now?
Like, what is this? Like, what are we here together or not?
Yeah.
Like, are we on the same planet in the same country or not?
Right. We get back to the shared truth conversation we were having.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. People keep themselves in a box. I guess they can have their own truth, can't they? Just get to make it up. Yeah. Anyway.
So yeah, that had you feeling some type of way?
That did, yeah, definitely. But what was your some type of way?
So, so my some type of way is kind of weird because okay. It's kind of actually, it made me feel some type of way, but more on like the positive scale. Because like feeling some type of way doesn't have to always be like a negative thing. It can also just be awkward. Like it could just be like, I don't know how to feel about something. Or it can be like on the scale of positive some type of way, right? Like it's a gradient to feeling some type of way. Right. So anyway,
feeling strong.
I have had an issue. I have felt some type of way, definitely in the negative sense, for a long time about Sheryl Sandberg. Do you know who Sheryl Sandberg is?
No.
Okay, so Sheryl Sandberg is the COO of Facebook. Very big corporate lady. And she wrote a book a few years ago called Lean In, which is basically like telling women, stop trying to wait for your business to hand you what you want. Lean in and get it yourself.
Oh, okay.
And it created this whole like, you know, corporate feminist thing where feminism was about women getting the big CEO jobs and making tons of money just like men. Right. And not about all the other shit that actual feminists care about. Like reproductive justice and education and, you know, like all other manners of fucking equality. Like they just erase all of that shit. Like feminism becomes just about feeling empowered to go out and get the same level of power and money that men have. It's a very like second wave bullshit way of looking at feminism, and it limits the power of feminism as an organizing tool incredibly. Like it just oh, it's terrible. But nevertheless, lots of people bought into this, especially a lot of white women, because it's a safe feminism. Like, at the end of the day, corporate feminism basically, it's, I don't even like calling it feminism, but they call themselves that. So, but it basically, you know, keeps the structures of patriarchy and white supremacy in place. Like, it usually isn't very revolutionary. It's just kind of like a handing off of power. You know what I mean? And it's still not even that great. But last week, Michelle Obama, she's doing a book tour right now because she just had a book come out, and someone asked her a question about, you know, Sheryl Sandberg and the Lean In and all that stuff. And she actually did something out of character for her. She cursed.
What? Really?
She said, you know, that question of like having it all and all that stuff, you know, the family and the career.
Right.
And she, you know, she brought up like Lean In, and she's like, and that shit doesn't always work. And I love that she said that, because it's like, yes, like, just because you go into a job feeling so empowered and having high self-esteem doesn't mean the people around you are going to still recognize you and give you what you think you deserve.
Right.
Like, that's the whole point of it. The whole point is the structure is so entrenched that it doesn't matter how exceptional you are.
Right.
But Lean In, the philosophy is just be exceptional and you'll get your due.
But that's not fair.
Not,
like,
exactly.
You shouldn't
it's not
have
fair.
to fucking do that. Like,
No,
you shouldn't
it's not
have
fair.
to be exceptional. You should be able to be mediocre.
Just like the white dudes.
You know, and still be able to fucking get where you need to go.
Exactly.
You know?
And or not even that you should be allowed, but don't make women feel like they have to. Okay, women already put in so much labor, so much unpaid labor. Yeah. And basically what Sheryl Sandberg is saying is put in even more unpaid labor.
Yeah.
Because, okay, your counterpart is a dude and he's putting in 50% every day, and you're putting in 150 because you're trying to be seen and make up for his, you know, shortcomings.
Right.
Just keep doing that. Don't complain. Don't try to change anything around you. Just keep putting in the work, and eventually they'll pat you on the head like the good little girl you are and give you a semblance of the power and money they have.
Here's some money and power. Now go buy something pretty.
Exactly. And it's just forcing women to always think that it's their fault.
Yeah.
And which, of course, what does that do? Support patriarchy.
Yeah.
And it makes women put in more and more unpaid labor that men benefit from in the end.
Exactly.
And while we're around here running fucking ragged and feeling like,
because they're still just going to pay you what they think you're worth, even if you do 100%.
And it's going to be very little.
You're still just doing 150% instead of what you would normally do, and still be getting what anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Yes, and you're going to get in that same position and basically start doing the same thing. Safeguarding, guarding out at people from getting in. And, you know, when women that are radical want to come in and change shit, instead of you being like, yeah, sister, what can I do to help you change things, to make it better? You say, well, I did it. You have to as well. Right. Like, I had to pay my dues. You have to pay your dues as well. And it's just like, that's not feminism, man. Like, feminism in and of itself is fucking radical. It is radical.
Like George Jefferson, I climbed the rungs of success, rung by rung.
Exactly. So that was an interesting moment, because the fact that I had been feeling uncomfortable about something for so long was like finally burst open, because Sheryl Sandberg has already been in trouble for the last like few weeks anyway, because everyone's starting to smell her shit. Like, they're finally come around to the point where like, oh, she's not so great. Right. Actually, she's really bad at this. Yeah. Like, maybe we shouldn't be touting her as the next best feminist anything. Right.
Definitely not.
So it was just kind of interesting to watch that become validated by the public. You know what I mean? Like, see other people say, yeah, this has always kind of made me feel uncomfortable too. Like, this kind of freedom, this kind of feminism definitely will not lead to our freedom.
No. You're just buying into the patriarchy more.
Exactly.
Anything, you know? Yeah, that's bullshit.
And it's so illustrative of the problems that arise when women of color try to organize with white women. Right. Is that you're always afraid of when they're gonna just hightail it out of there because they have a better offer.
Right.
from white men.
Yeah.
And you see, and I think voting shows you that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think voting shows you that between the difference between the way black women vote and white women vote. I think in ways, the way that black women vote shows you that they have everyone's back.
Right. Yeah.
And they particularly have their own back.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at the way white women vote, you see that they're conflicted about whose backs they should have.
Yeah.
Like, some of them are like, I need to have my own back.
Right. Exactly.
And as well as the backs of people I care about.
Right.
And there are some that are like, my back will always be fine because as long as I take care of those in power,
right,
I don't have to worry about my own back.
And fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, basically.
And,
right.
well, not only fuck everyone else, well, you're just an idiot for not making sure that you had a way of getting that level of power as well. Like,
right.
I'm just playing the game, sister.
Yeah.
That hate the game, not the player bullshit.
Right. Exactly. It's sad.
It's very sad.
They're just hurting their own, self-interest by voting that way.
Yeah.
It's
well,
just gonna
it's
hurt
sometimes,
them,
but sometimes not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, honestly,
it's
sometimes
gonna hurt
not.
them in one way, but yeah, they could be helped in another. But they're still trapped in a world that's fucking them, Yeah. And they have to be cool with it, Even though they get the nice house and they get that, but still, their fucking husband pretty much owns them, Even still, I don't know. It's just like they're I don't know. And the other men that they're working, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
I don't know.
I agree with you. But they delude themselves into thinking that they wear the pants in the family.
Yeah.
That at the end of the day, they're in charge.
Right. Again.
Or that there's inequality there. Or even better, they bought in.
Yeah, and now they're better than a lot of men.
Well, they bought into this idea that the husband is supreme. That they do run the house. Yeah. That they are to just be the help meet.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's gross.
I've always hated that fucking phrase.
Yeah,
it's just a disgusting phrase. But yeah, that's what had me feeling some type of way this week.
Oh,
so, another show down.
Another show. Wow, yeah, we did it. All right.
Thanks for joining us, folks.
Yeah,
We've
if you want to
enjoyed the fuck out of ourselves today.
Yeah. If you want to email us, email is unapologetic666@gmail.com. That's spelled with the X. Do email us, and we'll take, answer any questions or do anything, if you guys want to just say hey or whatever. Just hit us up.
Please.
And I know we have I had people wanting to be on the show. Sorry, we've gotten a little bit behind with, guests and stuff like that. But we will get around to everybody, we promise. But, it's just, this month we just got behind.
Yeah.
So,
holidays really mess shit up.
It really does. So, but we didn't forget about you. We are definitely, there's a couple
We're here.
I want to really have on. So, but thank you so much for listening. We had good time.
We love doing it. We love being here. And we're just going to continue to be here.
Yeah. Seriously.
We're just going to continue to be here. Don't count us out. We're always coming back.
Yeah, we'll always be back. It might take a minute, but 2 a month. That's our goal.
Yeah. And we're working on other stuff. So
yeah.
Have a great week, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.